The flashbulbs are popping, the red carpet is completely rolled out, and the absolute biggest stars of South Korea's streaming platforms are gathered under one roof.
Right. It's the evening of July 31st, 2026.
Exactly. We're at Paradise City in Incheon.
Mm.
And, 5 years ago, if a South Korean actor worked exclusively on streaming shows, they were quietly considered, well, second tier by the industry elite.
Oh, absolutely. Traditional broadcast television was the only real kingmaker back then.
But look at the landscape today.
Yeah.
I mean, traditional TV is really fighting for relevance, and streaming hasn't just taken the crown. It has completely rewritten the rules of the kingdom.
It really has.
So, welcome to today's deep dive. We're sifting through this massive stack of entertainment reports from Sports Chosun, Pop, MK, The Financial Express, and more.
Lots of ground to cover.
Yeah, because we're unpacking the event that proves this massive industry shift, which is the 5th Blue Dragon Series Awards. This is the premier awards ceremony dedicated entirely to OTT or streaming content.
And, the creation of this specific ceremony 5 years ago was just a massive watershed moment.
Right.
The original Blue Dragon Film Awards have been legendary for decades. But by spinning off a dedicated series award for streaming, the industry officially stopped treating these platforms as, the quirky younger sibling of cinema and broadcast TV.
They finally acknowledged them.
Exactly. They acknowledge that the stories taking the biggest creative risks, the ones driving global conversations, they now live exclusively on these apps.
Yeah. And having Hyun-moo and Youna host this event for the 5th consecutive year, that's highly symbolic, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, they are established legacy broadcast figures who have successfully transitioned into this streaming era.
So they're kind of serving as the perfect bridge between the old guard and this new digital frontier.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Well, let's jump right into the pinnacle of the night, because it gave us not only the most emotional speech, but also a fascinating look at the dual lives these entertainers have to lead.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Right. I'm talking about the grand prize, the Daesang, which went to Kim Go-eun for her role in the romance series, You and Everything Else.
Such a deserved win.
It really was. But before we get to the viral moment surrounding her win, let's just unpack the award itself. Because for a listener who might not be deeply embedded in Korean award show culture, how is the Daesang fundamentally different from, just winning Best Actress? Why is it the ultimate crown?
Well, so Best Actress is more of a technical recognition, right? It rewards the specific execution of a role within a defined category.
Like how well an actor modulated their voice or conveyed emotion?
Exactly, how they embodied a specific character. But the Daesang, which literally translates to grand prize, it completely transcends those individual categories.
Okay.
It's an acknowledgement of monumental cultural impact. So it means your performance didn't just stand out among your peers, it defined the entire year in entertainment.
Wow, it shifted the zeitgeist.
Precisely. When the industry hands an actor the Daesang, they are essentially declaring that person to be the center of gravity for Korean pop culture at that specific moment in time.
Which really explains the weight of her reaction. I mean, she was visibly emotional.
Very much so.
And her speech was incredibly grounded. She stated, I've never taken the opportunity to work on a project for granted.
Yeah, that was a powerful moment.
It was. She talked about approaching every single role desperately and with a strong sense of responsibility, promising to remain an actress who, quote, sparks curiosity.
Sparks curiosity. Yeah, I love that phrase.
Right. And it makes perfect sense when you look at her recent trajectory. I mean, she didn't just do this romance series. She recently starred in Exuma.
Oh, man. Exuma.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar, Exuma wasn't just a scary movie. It was a massive, box office dominating occult horror phenomenon. So going from a grounded romance to a shamanistic horror thriller, that is a masterclass in genre hopping.
It's a massive flex of her range, honestly. And the contrast in her project choices highlights a broader survival mechanism in the modern streaming era.
How so?
Well, with so much content being produced globally, actors can no longer afford to be one-trick ponies. The algorithms actually punish stagnation.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you have to constantly reinvent your image to capture different demographics, which is why her promise to spark curiosity is actually a very sharp strategic understanding of what keeps an actor relevant today.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And speaking of contrast, right in the middle of this profound, tearful recognition of her life's work, the cameras catch the most viral audience reaction of the night.
Oh, this was hilarious.
Her longtime friend and college classmate Lee Sang-yi physically leaps out of his seat in pure shock and joy.
He really did.
His eyes are wide, and he honestly looks more stunned than she does.
Yeah, well, they both attended the Korea National University of Arts, which is colloquially known as K-Arts, in the class of 2010. And that specific class is famous in the industry for producing a massive wave of current A-listers. They've been grinding in this industry together for over a decade and a half.
Yeah, they even appeared together recently on Pingyego.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you brought up Pingyego.
Yeah.
It's this YouTube talk show hosted by Seok, and the whole premise is just celebrities sitting around, drinking coffee and chatting without the heavy, polished script of traditional broadcast TV.
Right, it strips away the glamour.
Yeah, lets fans see these massive stars as just normal, slightly exhausted people.
Which perfectly sets up the absurdity of what happened earlier in the award ceremony.
Well, the performance.
Yes. Before Kim Go-eun won the Daesang, Lee Sang-yi was actually on stage performing.
In a full tuxedo.
In a full tuxedo, dancing his heart out to a song called My Flavor with a project group called the Migak Boys.
It was amazing.
And the broadcast cut to Kim Go-eun in the audience, and she had this hilariously amused, slightly awkward expression. Just watching her serious actor friend from college do synchronized choreography.
It is the ultimate encapsulation of what it means to be a modern Korean entertainer.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, totally.
you have to possess the profound, tear-inducing artistic depth to win a Daesang, but you also have to be completely willing to put on a tuxedo and dance to a pop song called My Flavor for the entertainment of the room.
It's a dual persona.
Yeah. You're an artist, but you are also fundamentally a variety clown when the moment calls for it.
And that expectation to seamlessly jump between completely different personas, it isn't just limited to award show appearances or press tours.
Right.
Increasingly, it's becoming a literal requirement of the roles themselves, particularly in the shows that are winning the big technical awards.
Which brings us perfectly to the fiercely competitive Best Actress and Best Actor categories, because Shin Hae-sun took home Best Actress for her role in The Art of Sarah.
An incredible performance.
Unbelievable. And the entertainment reports keep referring to her performance as acting stunt show. That is such a specific phrase.
It really is, but it is the perfect descriptor for the mechanics of her role. Because in The Art of Sarah, she didn't just play one character who undergoes a linear evolution. She had to portray multiple, highly distinct personas.
So from a technical standpoint, what does an acting stunt show actually require?
It requires a performer to rapidly shapeshift. It's about micro-expressions, sudden shifts in vocal modulation, and entirely changing physical posture from scene to scene.
Wow.
And pulling that off without the performance dissolving into, a cartoonish caricature requires immense technical precision. The audience has to believe that all these disparate personas reside within the same psychological framework.
And despite pulling off that incredibly demanding technical feat, she was visibly shaking when she accepted the award.
She was.
She admitted on stage that she was already completely overwhelmed just from watching her co-star, Park Bo-young, win Best Supporting Actress for the exact same show earlier in the night.
And that shared victory points to a critical element of how these complex streaming shows are produced. An acting stunt show cannot exist in a vacuum.
What do you mean?
Well, if a lead actress is constantly shifting personas, the supporting cast has to serve as the anchor. They have to react dynamically to keep the scene grounded in reality.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so Shin Hae-sun's vulnerability on stage, acknowledging her co-star, it really underscores that her complex performance was entirely dependent on the collaborative framework built by the director, the writer, and her fellow actors.
That makes so much sense. Well, let's shift over to the men's side, because the Best Actor win presents a really interesting narrative choice by the Korean media.
Okay, yeah.
Park Hae-soo won for playing Detective Kang Tae-ju in the series The Scarecrow. And he gave a beautiful, deeply personal speech.
He really did.
Yeah, he dedicated the award to his wife, saying she, quote, holds him steady whenever he feels anxious or nervous.
Oh.
I know, it was sweet. He also casually dropped the massive news that their second child is due next month.
Huge news.
And he even mentioned wanting to give the award to his favorite actor, Lee Hee-jin, highlighting this deep mutual respect among the veterans. But wait, I have a specific pushback here. The media reports keep calling Park Hae-soo a rediscovery for this role.
Yes, they do.
But didn't he literally conquer the globe a few years ago with Squid Game?
Yeah.
How do you rediscover a guy who is already an international superstar? Why are the critics framing it that way?
The terminology here actually reveals a lot about the Korean critical landscape. In this context, a rediscovery doesn't mean the industry forgot who he was
Okay.
or that he was plucked from obscurity. It means an actor has successfully shattered a plateau or a typecast.
Ah, I see.
Following a global phenomenon like Squid Game, an actor can very easily get boxed into playing variations of the same intense, morally ambiguous, survival-driven character.
Right, because the financial incentives to just repeat what worked are massive.
Exactly. So by labeling his performance in The Scarecrow a rediscovery, the critics are specifically applauding him for stripping away the heavy baggage of his past mega hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed a completely new vulnerability and an earnest goodness as Detective Kang Taeju. He didn't rely on his established bag of tricks. He rebuilt his emotional core from the ground up.
So a rediscovery is really a celebration of an actor refusing to coast on their previous success.
Precisely.
But a reinvention like that only works if the source material supports it, which brings us to the actual vehicles driving these performances. I mean, individual acting is crucial, but the health of the streaming industry is ultimately defined by which series capture the broader cultural imagination.
Very true.
So let's look at the night's biggest overall winner, which took home Best Drama, The Legend of Kitchen Soldier.
What a show.
Okay, the premise of this show sounds utterly bizarre on paper.
It really does. It is a military cooking fantasy.
Right.
It follows a character named Private Kang Song-jae, played by Park Ji-hoon, who essentially trades his military-issued rifle for an apron and his cartridge belt for kitchen tools on a quest to become a legendary kitchen soldier.
I have to stop you right there. Mixing a rigid military drama with a culinary fantasy sounds like it shouldn't work. Like putting caviar on a donut.
Yeah, it sounds like a mess.
Right. But somehow, when the ingredients are mixed just right, it becomes a Michelin-star dish that sweeps the awards.
It's true, and the mechanics of why it works are fascinating.
How do they balance it?
Well, the creators use the intense life-or-death pressure of the military hierarchy to artificially raise the stakes of the cooking scenes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like treating a dinner service with the tactical precision of a hostage rescue. The rigid structure of the military contrasts perfectly with the sensory, creative, and often chaotic world of the culinary arts.
That is brilliant. And it isn't just an original script. It is based on a popular webtoon.
Yes.
For anyone who hasn't fallen down that rabbit hole, webtoons are massively popular digital scrolling comics in Korea.
And they have become the absolute lifeblood of the Korean streaming industry.
Because developing an original script from scratch is incredibly risky for a platform, right?
Exactly. It's a huge gamble. Webtoons act as pre-tested storyboards. By the time a streaming service buys the rights, the story already has millions of views, a built-in audience, and a proven narrative arc.
So it significantly de-risks the massive financial investment required to produce a prestige drama.
Exactly. It's a built-in safety net.
And The Legend of Kitchen Soldier clearly maximized that investment because it dominated multiple facets of the award show. Beyond Best Drama, Yoon Jung-ho took home Best Supporting Actor for his role.
He was fantastic in it.
He was. And the show even won the OST Popularity Award for a track called Sad Saltiness, performed by IVEs and Youjin.
Right. And you know, the OST, the original soundtrack, is a critical component of a drama's success that often gets overlooked in Western television.
Oh, absolutely.
In Korea, a hit OST drives emotional resonance during the broadcast. More importantly, it lives on social media.
Like trending audios.
Exactly. When a song like Sad Saltiness trends on TikTok or Instagram Reels, it creates a viral feedback loop that drives viewers back to the streaming platform.
So a drama today has to fire on all cylinders. The acting, the writing, and the digital audio footprint.
Exactly. Everything has to align perfectly.
And the streaming platforms are also acting as massive incubators for the next generation of talent to step into these holistic projects.
Yes, we saw a lot of that.
Yeah, we saw Kim Jae-won win Best New Actor for Yumi Cells 3, and Jeon So-young take Best New Actress for If Wishes Could Kill. It feels like a changing of the guard, right? A constant pipeline of new faces being tested on these platforms.
It does, but it is important to remember the underlying economic model of these streaming apps.
Which is?
Well, prestige dramas like The Legend of Kitchen Soldier or The Art of Sarah are acquisition tools.
Okay, so getting new subscribers.
Right. They are the shiny, expensive billboards that convince a user to sign up for a subscription in the first place. But dramas have an end date.
Right.
Once the binge is over, the platform has to prevent that user from canceling their subscription.
Which brings us to the unsung heroes of the streaming wars, the reality and variety shows.
Yes, absolutely.
These are the programs that keep viewers engaged week after week, month after month.
Exactly. They are the retention engines. They cost significantly less to produce than a high fantasy military cooking drama, but they generate incredibly consistent viewership.
And the variety stars were given equal footing at the Blue Dragon Series Awards. I mean, better late than Single took home Best Entertainment Program.
Such a great show.
It is. We saw Kim Go-eun win Top Excellence for SNL Korea 8, bringing that raw, live sketch comedy energy to streaming.
Yeah.
Ju Woo-jae took an Excellence Award for Screwballs 4. And on the women's side, Kim Seok won Top Excellence for Screwballs 4, and Jung Yi-rang won for Daesang Sisters.
And, you know, seeing these comedians recognized on the same stage as the dramatic actors validates their role in the ecosystem.
Because traditional broadcast television used to have a monopoly on variety shows, right?
Exactly. The fact that streaming platforms are now producing award-winning, platform-exclusive variety content shows that the migration away from broadcast networks is complete. They aren't just taking the dramas, they're taking the daily entertainment, too.
Which naturally leads us to the final piece of the puzzle here, which is the fans.
Ah, yes.
Because you can't talk about the modern entertainment ecosystem without talking about the people who actually consume it.
You really can't.
The Maru 5 Popular Star Awards are entirely fan-voted. And this year, they went to Go-eun Jung, Byeon Woo-sik, Yoo-jae-sik, and Lee Soo-ji.
Such a strong lineup.
It is. Go-eun Jung also secured the Global Icon Award. But I want to focus on Yoo-jae-sik for a second.
Oh, please do.
Because he is arguably the most famous broadcaster in the history of modern Korea.
Without a doubt.
He gets on stage, acts completely surprised to win a popularity award, and dryly jokes that he's going to aim for a bigger award soon.
It is a brilliant piece of self-deprecation because everyone in that room knows he already possesses every major broadcast Daesang in existence.
Exactly.
He knows exactly how to read a room and deliver a punchline that plays on his own legendary status without sounding arrogant.
But looking at the rest of this popularity list, especially rising global stars like Byeon Woo-sik and Go-eun Jung, it makes me wonder about the mechanics of these specific awards.
What do you mean?
Well, when you see massive stars like Byeon Woo-sik and Go-eun Jung winning these popularity awards, how much of this is driven by raw acting talent versus just the sheer, terrifying organizational power of modern global fandoms?
Honestly, in the current streaming landscape, you cannot separate the two.
Really?
Yeah. Raw acting talent is the initial spark. An actor has to deliver a performance that generates genuine emotional investment.
Right.
But once that spark catches, the modern global fandom acts as the gasoline. These fandoms operate like highly coordinated digital campaign machines.
I mean, they are incredibly intense.
They really are. They organize on Discord servers, they coordinate voting schedules across different time zones, they trend specific hashtags to manipulate social media algorithms, and they mass-produce viral edits on TikTok.
So winning a Popular Star Award isn't necessarily a measure of who the objective best actor is.
No, it is a metric of which actor has successfully mobilized an army of digital advocates.
Wow.
Talent gets you on the screen, but infrastructural fandom power is what actually secures the trophy in these categories. You aren't just a viewer anymore. You are a digital campaign manager for your favorite star.
It fundamentally changes the relationship between the art and the audience.
It really does.
We've covered a massive amount of ground today, unpacking the 5th Blue Dragon Series Awards.
Yeah.
I mean, we started with the profound artistic depth of Kim Go-eun's emotional Daesang win.
And the hilarious contrast of Lee Sang-yee's viral tuxedo dance.
Yes, of course. We dug into the technical precision required for Shin Hae-sun's acting stunt show and the critical reinvention of Park Hae-soo.
And we explored how a bizarre military cooking fantasy became a Michelin star hit thanks to the webtoon pipeline.
Right. And finally, we broke down the economic necessity of variety stars and the raw, organized power of modern fandoms.
It provides a very clear cross-sectional view of exactly how the Korean entertainment machine operates in 2026.
It really does. But, consider this for a moment. Yeah. We mentioned at the top of the show that this specific ceremony didn't even exist a decade ago.
Right.
Now it is the undeniable center of the cultural universe. The streaming platforms have successfully absorbed the prestige dramas, the daily variety shows, and the global fandoms.
They took everything.
Yeah. So what does this mean for the future of traditional broadcast television?
That is the big question.
When the most prestigious, the most talked about, and the most boundary-pushing stories are exclusively funded by and found on apps, what is left for the legacy networks?
It's hard to say.
Are they destined to become mere news and sports broadcasters? Or can they find a way to survive in a world where the screen in the palm of your hand has already won the war?
Something to really think about.
Absolutely. Next time you fire up a streaming app, remember the massive, invisible machinery working behind the scenes to keep you watching. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.